Konnichiwa minasan. Hey friends, how are you? Welcome to Saral Japani YouTube channel. This is a place where we talk about Japan. And this series is called Ticket to Tokyo, in which we discuss about different topics related to migration and immigration to Japan. Today's topic is studying MBBS in Japan, part 2. In the last video of this series, which was part 1 of this same topic, studying MBBS in Japan, we touched upon the first four topics, which are top universities and tuition fees, MBBS course curriculum, eligibility and admission requirements, and admission process. So we had stopped there, and the four topics that were left out were our visa process, scholarships, the total cost of study, including living expenses, and career opportunities in Japan upon graduation in MBBS. So let's continue from here. So we begin with the visa process for MBBS applications. So this is applicable once you have been offered a seat or an admission by the concerned university or institution. So first thing in the visa process is the arrangement of certificate of eligibility, which is popularly known as COE. So for COE, the first step is the application submission, which will be done by the institution itself. You don't have to do anything. So after receiving your admission letter from a Japanese medical university, that is if you are selected for admission to MBBS and offered a seat, the institution will itself apply for a certificate of eligibility COE on your behalf at the regional immigration authority in Japan. You need not raise any COE request by yourself. So this is completely on the institute or the university which has offered you the seat for MBBS. The processing time of COE application is typically 1 to 3 months. So you can expect up to 3 months for your COE application to get processed. Once that is done, then the next step is student visa application. Once you have received the COE, proceed with these steps. Gather required documentation. So first thing is the valid passport. Ensure your passport is up to date and it is not expiring soon. Visa application form, obtain and complete the form from the Japanese embassy or consulate in your country. So you can visit the Japanese consulate or you can check their website and obtain the requisite form from them and the appropriate form for getting a student visa. Photograph a recent passport sized photo and the certificate of eligibility which you have received from the institute, the original document or a copy of it. Submit all these documents to the Japanese embassy or consulate in your home country. So you need not post all of these to Japan, but you have to submit in your home country. This processing time is very quick. It's less than a week. It takes from 3 to 7 days because the actual time was taken during the COE preparation only. So if you have received the COE, that means 95% of the work was already done regarding your visa processing. So this is just a formality in which they stamp the visa on your passport. That's the only thing that they do. And that's the reason why it takes less than 7 days. So visa issuance usually takes 3 to 7 days, but this can vary depending on special situations. It may take a little more as well, but generally it's 3 to 7 days. Then once you have all the formalities done, you have the visa, you you purchase the plane ticket and you land up on Japan. Then what happens? You must enter Japan within 3 months of the COE issuance date. Otherwise, the COE will become invalid and you lose your chance of admission to the offered MBBS program. So this is very, very important. So as soon as you receive the COE from the university, you must apply for the visa and you must get that processed and you must land up on Japan within 3 months of the issuance of the COE. This is very, very important. Otherwise, your seat is gone. Upon arrival, you will receive a residence card at the airport, which serves as the official ID in Japan. Follow the next steps as directed by the university administration. So it's not written here, but you have to visit the nearest ward, the municipality ward, and you have to get registered there as well using the residence card that you received at the airport. So there are several formalities that needs to be done at the nearest municipality ward. So you have to visit the ward office and get all those things done. But those are next steps which the university administration will advise you. So that was the visa process. Now let's look at the total cost of study. So tuition fees, this we had discussed in detail in the last video as well. So to summarize, public universities, they charge something around 535,800 yen per year, and private universities charge something between 1 million to 2 million yen per year. The values in Indian rupees are mentioned here. You can check for your respective country's currency using the yen to your respective currency conversion in Google. That was the tuition fees. Now living costs, it depends mainly on the person's lifestyle, and it generally differs from person to person. Depending on how lavish life you lead or how restricted life you live, it may be it may be much lesser, it may be much higher than this, but these are the average values that we have considered. The monthly cost of all of these: accommodation is nearly 40,000, food 20,000 yen, utilities 10,000, transportation 5,000 to 10,000, and miscellaneous. That depends again on what else do you do in your life and what is your spending habit. So that will decide the monthly cost. But roughly you can say the total monthly cost of your stay in Japan, excluding the tuition fees and insurance, will be around something around 90 to 95,000 or even more, depending on your standard of living. So this looks a huge money, but don't worry, we will look at these scholarships. There are plenty of scholarships which we will see in the next part of this video. So before that, the third is the health insurance. So first was the tuition fees, second was the living expenses, and the third part is the health insurance. International students, all students are required and must enroll in Japan's national health insurance, which is called NHI, and that costs about 20,000 to 30,000 yen per year. So that will be an annual amount. So this is not much, but considering the high cost of medical treatment in Japan, this is worth. So now you can add up all the three buckets, that is the tuition fees, the living expenses, and the health insurance, and you will get the total cost or the total funds that you must secure for your study in Japan. But if you don't have that much of money to spend on this, you need not panic. There are a hell lot of scholarships for you, and that's the reason why you should keep watching this video, because now we are going to discuss about the scholarships. Scholarships. There are many scholarships for higher studies in Japan for international students. And for this, a big thanks to the Japanese government, because they have lots of funds for international students. There are so many scholarships available in Japan for international students that it is really very difficult to talk about each and every scholarship in this video. So I will tell you about the major ones, the most important and the most prominent ones that are applicable for MBBS course. And then we will have a separate video on scholarships in general, and also on two most important scholarships which we will see, we will come across in the next slide. So here we go with the major MBBS scholarships available to international students for study in Japan. These are the five most important scholarships. First and the most important is the MEXT scholarship, which is given from the Japanese government's Ministry of External Affairs. So Japanese government MEXT scholarship, it covers tuition fees, monthly stipend, and travel expenses. So in other words, it covers your entire cost of study. It's open to international students applying through Japanese embassies or universities. So you have to apply for this through the Japanese embassy or the consulate in your home country, or the university that has granted you admission will apply on your behalf once you reach out to them that you need scholarship. Then there is JASO scholarships, which JASO stands for Japan Student Services Organization. So this provides a monthly stipend for privately funded international students. So this scholarship, you do not get the tuition fees coverage, but the monthly stipend to sustain your living there. So this is also very good, because as we have seen in the cost of study, that the tuition fees is not that high in Japan. The living expenses are much more higher. So the third important scholarship for medical studies is Kyoto University AFLSP scholarship, which is provided by the Kyoto University itself, and it covers tuition and provides a monthly stipend. It is available to outstanding students from Asia applying for medical programs. Then there is Tokyo Medical University Scholarship, which is again provided by the medical university itself, and it provides partial tuition waivers for top performing international students in medical studies. So this what this means is you have to prove your performance during the first term. So initially they will not provide a tuition waiver, but if you perform extremely well in the first year, then they may give you tuition waiver for the subsequent terms or semesters or years. So this is that kind of scholarship. Then there is Hamamatsu University School of Medicine scholarship. So this is provided by Hamamatsu University, and it offers tuition reductions or waivers based on financial need and academic merit. So here the financial statement that you need to provide, that the household income of your parents is not that much, and depending on the academic performance you show up there, they will decide whether to offer you this scholarship or not. But to summarize this chart, the first two, there are many scholarships under these two categories. So generally student get one of these, so you must apply if you are applying for MBBS or any other course. So mixed scholarship is basically generic. So this is not related only to MBBS, but for a wide variety of fields of study. And JASO is also the same thing. So these are common scholarships for a multitude of fields. So these are the most important ones. The mixed and JASO scholarships are the most important ones and are available in large numbers, as I just said. However, every scholarship is highly competitive. So it you should not uh, take it for granted that you will get mixed or JASO scholarship if you have been offered an admission. So securing an admission or securing a seat in a Japanese university for MBBS does not guarantee that you will get the scholarship. Scholarship is very competitive. Although there are many scholarships available, but the competition is also high because the entire world is competing for those scholarships, not only just your country. So remember that. So although every applicant is eligible to apply for any scholarship, if you go through the eligibility criteria for each scholarship, you will see that you very easily qualify for that criteria, in that criteria, but it is not really the case. You can apply, but you must be having you must have extremely strong and scholastic academic records throughout your school life to bag a scholarship. For example, you must perform well in olympiads, science olympiads, mathematics olympiads, or you have done something new, you have made some model or something, you have been awarded somewhere. So all those things will be taken into account, and which will come out from your statement of purpose, the SOP that you will be writing. So we will have a video in this series in which we will tell you how to write a good statement of purpose letter. So that will play an extremely important role in scholarships and grants. So how you represent yourself, how you represent your achievements and scholastic academical record, that is extremely important for scholarships, and the decision on scholarships will largely depend on that. Government scholarships like MEXT can be applied through the local Japanese embassy or directly at the university. It is important to note that application for admission and application for a scholarship are completely different and independent applications. So don't mix the two. Application for admission is a separate thing. Application for a scholarship is a separate thing. Scholarships need to be applied separately. Each scholarship has its own procedure to apply. The applicant must check the relevant websites for detailed information. So every scholarship may not have the same rules and regulations. So if you are applying if you have been awarded scholarship in one university, you must check with that university what are the conditions that apply to apply for a scholarship. While applying to university for admission, explore the scholarships available from the university at that time itself, apart from the common government scholarships like MEXT, JASO, etc. So you should have an idea of the scholarships that will be applicable for you. So from the university where you are applying. So do a homework beforehand so that you have a clear idea of what scholarships are applicable for you. So now we are going to provide you the URLs of the top 5 medical scholarships that we just discussed. So MEXT scholarships, you can visit www.mext.go.jp/en/policy/education/higher ed and followed by this full segment. So we are going to paste these links in the description section of this video as well so that you can directly click on these links and go to those websites. Likewise, JASO scholarships we have www.jaso.go.jp. Kyoto University scholarships aflsp.kyoto-u.ac.jp. Tokyo Medical and Dental University scholarships, you can visit this tmd.ac.jp, and Hamamatsu www.hama-med.ac.jp. So these websites are the websites of these top 5 scholarships. MEXT and JASO scholarships are applicable for many fields of study, not just medical. So we shall talk about these two major scholarships in the next two videos of this series so that you have a clear understanding of how to apply for these scholarships. And as I said, these are applicable for engineering, medical, and several other disciplines. So this is going to be a generic video, not only applicable to medical, but in general. So, and there are many scholarships available under MEXT and JASO. So the chances of getting one such scholarship is high. So we will focus on these two scholarships in detail. And finally, the career opportunities in Japan upon MBBS graduation. So what happens when you graduate from MBBS? So you have successfully completed the MBBS, the 6-year MBBS program. Then what are the opportunities for you in Japan? So you can become a medical doctor, you can become a medical scientist, you can become a medical research scientist, a clinical scientist, a research associate, a social medical researcher, and you can also continue your studies to the doctoral level, to the master's level, to the doctoral level, and and you can go from there. So friends, the last word, studying MBBS program in Japan offers top class global education, cutting edge state of the art research opportunities, and global career prospects. With affordable tuition fees at public universities and surplus scholarship alternatives to support your living expenses, as we have seen in this video, Japan is a wonderful destination for the aspiring medical professionals. So, what is needed? You have to learn Japanese. Yes, that is needed. If you want to become a doctor in Japan, you have to learn Japanese to interact with common people. Otherwise, you can't do that. So learning Japanese is a must. Half of it you can learn before your admission, and the rest you can learn after going there, because those universities will provide you free Japanese courses and you can become master. So you need not panic about the Japanese learning. So what are you thinking? Just give it a shot. So that's all for this video. Subscribe to this channel. Our channel is Saral Japani. If you like this video, you can subscribe for the next videos so that you don't miss the next videos that we post in this regard. Our address is youtube.com/@saraljapani. Till we meet again, thank you very much for watching this video. Arigato gozaimasu. Mata imasho.